sadness. I have a super important job just for you.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Follow me.
What are you doing?
And there. Perfect. This is the circle of sadness. Your job is to make sure that all the sadness stays inside of it.
So, you want me to just stand here?
Hey, it's not my place to tell you how to do your job. Just make sure that all the sadness stays in the circle. See? You're a pro at this. Isn't this fun?
No.
Atta girl.
Atta girl is an informal expression used to express encouragement, approval, or admiration to a woman or girl. It's similar in meaning to phrases like, good job, way to go, or keep it up. If you're talking to a boy, you could also say, atta boy. As you saw in the clip, those were joy and sadness, two of the emotions working inside a little girl's mind called Riley. It's Riley's first day at school, and Joy wants to make sure nothing bad happens. Will sadness be able to stay within that circle and not cause any trouble? While we wait for Inside Out 2 to premiere this year, let's revisit the original movie and learn some English with it. In case you're new here, our method is really simple. First, you'll watch the clips with subtitles. Then, you'll learn the most important vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation from the clips. Finally, you'll test your listening skills by watching the clips again without subtitles. And if you want to be able to understand your favorite movies and TV series without getting lost, without missing the jokes, and without subtitles, hit the subscribe button and bell down below right now.
Hello, did I wake you?
You have to play that.
Well, I have to practice, and I don't think of it as playing so much as hugging. Okay, first day of school, very, very exciting. I was up late last night figuring out a new plan. Here it is, fear. I need a list of all the possible negative outcomes on the first day at a new school.
Way ahead of you there. Does anyone know how to spell meteor?
Disgust. Make sure Riley stands out today, but also blends in.
When I'm through, Riley will look so good, the other kids will look at their own outfits and barf.
Joy. Yes, Joy. You'll be in charge of the console, keeping Riley happy all day long. And may I add, I love your dress. It's adorable. Oh, this old thing? Thank you so much. I love the way it twirls. Train of thought, right on schedule. Anger, unload the daydreams. I ordered extra in case things get slow in class.
Might come in handy if this new school is full of boring, useless classes, which it probably will be.
I was up late last night figuring out a new plan.
Remember, it's Riley's first day at a new school. Imagine staying awake past your bedtime, maybe thinking about something exciting or worrying about something scary. That's what to be up late means here. Check out this example.
Children, I didn't get much sleep last night because I was up late again lamenting the choices I've made.
Like solving a puzzle or having a big idea, figuring out means understanding something or coming up with a plan. Joy and the other emotions are buzzing with activity, trying to be prepared for anything that may happen. Joy, in particular, stayed up late coming up with or creating a plan.
I need a list of all the possible negative outcomes on the first day at a new school.
These are Fear's specialty. Fear loves thinking about these. Negative outcomes are not so good things that could happen, like maybe forgetting your lunch on the first day of school, tripping in the cafeteria, accidentally saying something weird, or not making any friends. An outcome is a result. Here's an example.
A surprising outcome.
I need a list of all the possible negative outcomes on the first day at a new school.
Way ahead of you there. Does anyone know how to spell meteor?
This shows how fear and joy, despite their differences, work together. Fear already prepared a list, ready to share his pessimistic predictions with Joy, who tried to keep things positive. The phrase, way ahead of you there, means the same as, don't even worry, I've already got that covered. Fear was so busy thinking about negative outcomes, he was even ahead of what Joy asked him to do. By the way, this is a great phrase to practice connected speech. Way ahead of ya. So here we have way ya. Notice that the A for ahead has a schwa sound, so I say way ya, and then ahead. The D for ahead has a flap sound, ra, which connects with the preposition of, which then is reduced to a schwa sound, So we say way ahead of, way ahead of. And then the word you is reduced to ya here. So we say way ahead of ya. Way ahead of you there.
Way ahead of you there. Does anyone know how to spell meteor?
Disgust. Make sure Riley stands out today, but also blends in.
Disgust's job has to do with balancing two things. Riley looking attractive and making a good impression, in other words, standing out, and not being too different from the other kids, in other words, blending in. Imagine being noticed for wearing cool clothes or saying something funny. Standing out means being different and catching people's attention in a positive way.
Can someone pass the bread? Yeah, but what's with the outfits? Plumbers wearing white gloves?
That's right. You gotta have a trademark. Gotta stand out.
Blending in is the opposite of standing out. It's like wearing comfy clothes and not wanting anyone to look at you or notice you.
Try not to look like a country bug. Blend. Blend in.
When I'm through, Riley will look so good, the other kids will look at their own outfits and barf.
Disgust has a plan and will make Riley look super cool soon. So we can understand that Disgust is confident about her fashion skills. She promises to work her magic on Riley's outfit, making her look cool and presentable for the new school. When I'm through, it's just like saying, when I'm finished. Your outfits are your clothes, like your shirt, pants, and shoes. Disgust is talking about making Riley's outfits look good. To barf is an informal way to say to vomit or to throw up.
Don't stop, Millhouse. You're so close. I gotta barf. Where's the bathroom?
Imagine you are in a situation where you have to speak English with someone. For the first few minutes, the conversation goes great. But then something terrible happens. You start forgetting the words you want to use, or the words you need are not coming to you right in that moment. The other person can see you're getting nervous, and it's just horrible. Isn't that a terrible feeling? Well, if you want to be able to remember all these words and expressions you are learning today, I have super exciting news for you. You need to check out the Learn English with TV series Flashcards. This is the newest feature of our real-life English app, which allows you to unlock intelligent flashcards with definitions and images for the specific lesson you're watching here on the channel. Instead of having to spend a lot of time taking notes of these words, you can review all the vocabulary you're learning today on the app with just a few clicks. Plus, you get to watch the lesson inside the app, so you can transition between watching and practicing more easily. And more importantly, our app's special algorithm will present you with the vocabulary card you're learning at the exact moment you're about to forget it, so you can transfer your learning from your short-term memory to permanently remember the words. So try the Learn English with TV series flashcards right now. All you need to do is click on the link in the description of the video, download the app, and follow the instructions. I'm sure you will love it.
Joy. Yes, Joy? You'll be in charge of the console, keeping Riley happy all day long.
Imagine a control panel like a spaceship. That's kind of like the console in Riley's mind. Think of it as Riley's emotional control center. Joy sits there, monitoring her feelings and trying to keep her happy and upbeat throughout the day. You can also use the word console when talking about video games. A video game console is the actual device you use to play video games, like PlayStation and Xbox.
Oh, this old thing? Thank you so much. I love the way it twirls.
This old thing is a funny way of being humble, even when something you have is awesome. Joy is pretending to be Riley, acting like it's no big deal that she has a cool dress.
She is a princess.
Who made your gown? I've never seen anything quite like it.
Oh, this old thing?
Oh, I'd so love to have one of my own.
Train of thought, right on schedule.
Right on schedule means right on time. This means the train has just arrived at the time it was expected to arrive. Just like a train arriving at the perfect time, this means Anger's daydreams are ready to go when needed. If school gets boring, he's got some fun stuff for Riley to imagine. The phrases right on schedule and right on time are good examples of collocations in English. A collocation is a group of words that are often used together by native speakers in everyday conversation. By the way, a great free website you can use for collocations is freecollocation.com. You simply type in a word and the dictionary gives you other words that go together or collocate with that word you searched for.
Might come in handy if this new school is full of boring, useless classes.
Anger hopes his daydreams will be helpful if school gets dull or boring. When something comes in handy, it's useful and helps you out.
Get her right ahead! Go for the jugular! The jugular! See, I told you he'd come in handy.
Almost finished with the potential disasters. Worst scenario is either quicksand, spontaneous combustion, or getting called on by the teacher. So as long as none of those happen...
Okay, everybody. We have a new student in class today.
Are you kidding me? Out of the gates? This is not happening!
Riley, would you like to tell us something about yourself?
No! Pretend we can't speak English.
Don't worry, I got this.
Okay. My name is Riley Anderson. I'm from Minnesota, and now I live here.
And how about Minnesota? Can you tell us something about it? Well, you certainly get a lot more snow than we do.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, it gets pretty cold. The lake freezes over, and that's when we play hockey. I'm on a great team. We're called the Prairie Dogs. My friend Meg plays forward, and my dad's the coach. Pretty much everyone in my family skates.
Worst scenario is either quicksand, spontaneous combustion, or getting called on by the teacher.
Imagine walking and then sinking slowly into the ground until you're stuck. That's quicksand. In this scene, we could also understand this word in a more figurative way, symbolizing the fear of feeling helpless and out of control in a new situation, such as going to a new school. Remember how teachers used to ask questions to a specific student in class? This is an example of being called on by someone. If somebody calls on you during a class or a meeting, you are actively invited to share something or to speak. Fear worries about Riley feeling exposed in front of others.
So as long as none of those happen...
None means not any or not even one. For example, none of the books were cheap. None of the students finished the test early. You should also know the difference between none and neither. Neither is like none, but for only two options. It's like choosing between red and blue, but deciding on neither. Here's the key difference. None works for 3 or more options. Neither only works for 2 options. For example, I could only choose pink, purple, and green. None of those colors appeal to me. Notice that in this example I have 3 options: pink, purple, and green. So I say none of them, or none of those colors. There were only 2 books available to rent, a romance novel and a young adult novel. Neither of them were interesting to me. Notice that here I only have 2 options, a romance novel and a young adult novel. That's why I say neither of them.
Are you kidding me? Out of the gates? This is not happening!
When Fear says out of the gate, we can feel his surprise and shock. He didn't expect Riley to be called on so soon, right at the beginning of her new school experience. We could understand the phrase out of the gate as something that happens right from the beginning. In the scene, the class had barely started and the teacher was already asking Riley to speak in front of the class. In other words, the teacher asked Riley out of the gate to speak in front of the class.
No! Pretend we can't speak English!
Pretend means to act as if something is true when it's not. Fear thinks Riley should pretend not to speak English to avoid being called on. By the way, I often see students confusing these 2 words, pretend and intend. As I just said, to pretend means to act as if something is true when it's not. Intend, on the other hand, means to have a plan or purpose. For example, I intend to finish my marketing course next year. In other words, I plan to finish my marketing course next year.
I'm on a great team. We're called the Prairie Dogs.
Notice the connected speech here. I'm on a great team. So I am is reduced to I'm, that's the abbreviation, and then we join that with the preposition on. I'm on. I'm on. We also connect the and for on with the article a, which sounds like a schwa sound. So we have amona, amona. And then great team, the T for great is dropped, and we only pronounce the T for team. Great team. I'm on a great team.
My friend Meg plays forward, and my dad's the coach.
In hockey, the forward position is the position of the players closest to the opponent's goal. They are responsible for scoring goals, so it's an important and exciting role. When Riley mentions her friend Meg playing forward, it shows another aspect of her life and interests.
Or we did till I moved away.
Hey, what gives?
What? Hey, Sadness, you touched a memory? We talked about this.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Get back in your circle. What's going on?
Get out of
I
there,
don't
Joey.
interject.
We used to play tag and stuff.
Cool Kids whispering at 3 o'clock.
Did you see that? Look!
Oh, no.
They're judging us!
Somebody help me! Grab that! Everybody put it in!
But everything's different now. Since we moved.
Oh no, we're crying at school!
What? Sadness, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or we did till I moved away.
What is the difference between till and until? Well, both mean up to the time or before something happens. The only difference is tiny. Till is a more informal and contracted form of until. Think of it as a quick, casual way to say it. Until is more formal and common in written English. It sounds a bit more proper in certain situations. Here, Riley uses till because it fits the scene's emotional intensity. She's reminiscing about, or remembering, her past, with a touch of melancholy or sadness. And the contraction adds a natural flow to her speech.
Hey, what gives?
What?
When someone asks, what gives? They're essentially saying, why is this happening? What's going on? For example, if you see someone suddenly running down the street, you might ask them what gives to understand why they are in such a hurry. Here, Joy uses it to express surprise because suddenly the happy memory turns blue and Joy is shocked. What gives is a quick way to ask what's changed and why sadness is interfering. Also, Joy is expressing disbelief. She finds it hard to believe sadness wouldn't follow their agreement. What gives reflects her disbelief and disappointment.
Hey, Sadness, you touched a memory? We talked about this.
Some regular verbs in English have a T sound at the end, just like in this clip. Touch in the past becomes touched. You see, we have a final T sound here. Touched. Touched. So I say touched a memory. Touched-a. Touched-a. T sound. The same thing happens with talked. The past of talk is talked with a T sound at the end. So talked about. Talk to bout. The T for about is a stop consonant, so we say about. And notice that I say talked about. So recapping, touched a memory, touched a memory, talked about.
We used to play tag and stuff.
Cool Kids whispering at 3 o'clock.
Tag is a classic children's game where players chase each other and try to touch someone while saying tag. It symbolizes Riley's carefree happiness and playful time back in her hometown in Minnesota. To whisper means to speak very softly, almost silently, often using only your breath. For example, right now, this is me whispering. Can you hear it? In the scene, Fear imagines the cool kids whispering about Riley, adding to his anxiety about feeling judged. At 3 o'clock is an interesting one. Fear is basically telling Joy and the other emotions about the cool kids' position in class. In other words, where the cool kids are. Native speakers use the clock face as a simple way to talk about where someone or something is positioned. Instead of using lengthy descriptions like slightly to the right or off-center towards the top, using around 3 o'clock instantly conveys the position. This is especially helpful in quick communication or when pointing something out. Although, I wonder whether this is gonna be outdated pretty soon, as most people today, especially younger generations, use mostly digital clocks and watches. Alright, now it's time to watch the clips again without subtitles for you first to test your listening skills, and second, for you to answer some questions I prepared for you to consolidate everything you're learning today. Let's get started.
Hello, did I wake you?
You have to play that.
Well, I have to practice, and I don't think of it as playing so much as hugging. Okay, first day of school, very, very exciting. I was up late last night figuring out a new plan. Here it is, fear. I need a list of all the possible negative outcomes on the first day at a new school.
Way ahead of you there. Does anyone know how to spell meteor?
Disgust. Make sure Riley stands out today, but also blends in.
If you blend in, you are noticed and catch people's attention. You don't catch people's attention. You don't know what to do in a group.
When I'm through, Riley will look so good, the other kids will look at their own outfits and barf.
Joy. Yes, Joy? You'll be in charge of the console, keeping Riley happy all day long. And may I add, I love your dress. It's adorable. Oh, this old thing? Thank you so much. I love the way it twirls. Train of thought, right on schedule. Anger. Unload the daydreams. I ordered extra in case things get slow in class.
Might come in handy if this new school is full of boring, useless classes, which it probably will be.
Almost finished with the potential disasters. Worst scenario is either quicksand, spontaneous combustion, or getting called on by the teacher. So as long as none of those happen...
Okay, everybody. We have a new student in class today.
Are you kidding me? Out of the gates? This is not happening!
If something happens out of the gate, it happens at the end, it happens in the middle, it happens right from the start.
Riley, would you like to tell us something about yourself?
No! Pretend we can't speak English.
Don't worry, I got this.
Okay. My name is Riley Anderson. I'm from Minnesota, and now I live here.
And how about Minnesota? Can you tell us something about it? Well, you certainly get a lot more snow than we do.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, it gets pretty cold. The lake freezes over, and that's when we play hockey. I'm on a great team. We're called the Prairie Dogs. My friend Meg plays forward, and my dad's the coach. Pretty much everyone in my family skates. Or we did till I moved away.
Hey, what gives? What?
What gives means what's going on, what's happening, why is this happening?
Sadness, you touched a memory? We talked about this.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Get back in your circle. What's going on?
Get out of there, Joy.
We used to play tag and stuff.
Cool kids whispering at 3 o'clock.
Did you see that? Look! Oh, no. They're judging us!
Somebody help me! Grab that! Everybody put it...
But everything's different now. Since we moved.
Oh no, we're crying at school!
What? Sadness, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now it's time for the comment of the day. The comment of the day comes from the lesson Lady and the Tramp, recently published here on the channel, and I found this really nice comment by Akaria Mon, I guess. And in that video, I asked you guys to create some sentences using different variations of the word care, different formations of the word care. And Akaria Mon wrote some really cool sentences here. I'm not going to read all of them, just a couple, but let's check it out. Look at the first one. She showed genuine care for her friend by offering a comforting presence during difficult times. Very nice, to show care. That's great. Now let's go to number 5. She walked through the crowded market carefully, ensuring not to bump into anyone or knock over any stalls. Okay, so now we are using carefully, the adverb. Very nice. And number 7, her caring nature was evident in the way she always went out of her way to help those in need, showing compassion and empathy to everyone around her. So here we have caring nature. Good job. We have care, carefully, and caring nature. Awesome sentences, and now I have a challenge for you guys for today's lesson. I would like you to again create some sentences with these words from today's lesson. Blend in, come in handy, out of the gate, get called on by someone, and whisper. Okay? So these are 5 of the words and expressions we learned today. Write one sentence with each and post your sentences in the comment section below. And I'm going to pick one of the best comments to read some of your sentences in the next video. All right? Guys, great job. You've made it until the end of the lesson. You rock. Don't forget to like this video, share this video with a friend who's also learning English, and subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber yet. And if you want to keep learning English while having a lot of fun, check out this next lesson. I'll see you soon.
I wonder where we're supposed to go.
I'll pick you up after school. Come on, you guys, stop it! Give it back!
Come on, we'll try over there. Excuse me, is this where we meet his teacher?
Well, look who's out of the anemone.
Yes, shocking, I know.
Marty, right?
Marlin.
Bob.
Ted. Bill. Hey, you're a clownfish.